Hi guys. So I started doing a written post, then I decided, you know what, let me just come live. And I want to talk about this whole idea about how so many women don't feel they deserve love. They don't feel they deserve to be spoiled. They don't feel like they're worthy of love. Hi Tara, hi B, hi Ferdinand, hi AfriFem. Hi guys, how are you? So let's talk about this. Now, many times as women, we say that we want our man to love us, our man to spoil us. But then again, deep down, we don't really feel like we are worthy of that kind of love. And what normally happens is, for so many women, there's a lot of subconscious beliefs and thoughts, negative thoughts that really limits them from really opening themselves up to receiving the kind of love that they want. So when you think about limiting beliefs, what are they? This is just how you look at yourself, how you view yourself, and what you feel is okay for you to receive in terms of love. Now, I remember a while back, before I started doing any work on myself, any inner work, any femininity work, I used to sit and I used to think, like I would see all these people on social media, actually on YouTube, talking about, oh, I want my man to provide for me, or my man has taken me to Maldives, or he's just bought me a new home, or he's giving me money. And I used to wonder, like, are these women lying? Or maybe they're just special, maybe that's just them. But I would sit and wonder, is it really fake? And then I'd daydream and I'd be like, maybe it's just for them because they're special, maybe because they look the way they look, or maybe because they are young, maybe because they are pretty. That life is for them, but not for me. Now, with time, I realized that was just me having this very limited thinking in terms of what I felt I deserved to get. Now, when it comes to subconscious programming, all this negative thinking, it really comes from you just taking, you thinking like, I am not worthy of love. And then that aspect sticks in your subconscious. So even when you say, oh, wow, I want my man to look after me, or I want to be in a happy relationship, deep down, you don't really feel you're worthy. So that's why sometimes when you're out, maybe doing your own stuff, and you see a couple who are happy, you're just there thinking, maybe this guy is just like, maybe he cheats on her anyway, or maybe you think that she's just like a slut, or maybe she's being paid to be with that guy, because you deep down don't really think that, you know what, there are couples who truly are happy, and there are couples who really truly enjoy being together, and there are men who will spend on their women, and there are women who really truly they feel that they deserve. Now, a lot of this thing comes down to you figuring out, you asking yourself, even when you are sitting in a relationship, and this thing is huge, because what this happens, if you have negative thoughts about yourself and how you view love and how you view men, let me tell you, it's going to impact your relationship. So how does it impact your relationship? You will be there if your man comes home at 7 o'clock on Saturday morning. You'll probably not say anything. Maybe you say comments like, oh, I'm the fun wife and I let my husband do whatever he wants. But deep down, you are not happy that he's staying out till 6 or 7. But just because you're like, you don't really believe you can get more, you don't really believe you should accept more, or you should ask for more, you choose to stay in an unhappy relationship. Why? Because you don't believe you deserve to actually get more. And sometimes maybe some of you maybe never saw healthy love model. Maybe you never really grew up seeing happy couples. Maybe you never really grew up seeing even maybe happy relationships. And you see what happens, it sets the bar at a certain level, such that you find there are some women who sit in a relationship and they're like, oh, okay, even if he cheats, at least he comes back home to me. Or even if he doesn't give, he's not investing money in our relationship, at least he comes back home to me. And that really is because deep down, you don't really feel that you are worthy of accepting more, of getting the kind of love that you want. Now, the interesting thing is we are always choosing whatever it is. We are always choosing. And one of the easiest ways to start changing this belief so that you can get more out of your relationship, whether it's dates, whether it is your man to commit to you, whether it's your man to stay home with you on Friday night, maybe you want him to communicate, like you want to be able to be safe and speak whatever it is that you need. You first of all should be able to love yourself and honor yourself and know that you are actually worthy of this kind of love that you want, and start to really go back into your mind and to do small changes in terms of how you view yourself and what you feel you deserve. Because whether we like it or not, anything we are tolerating, whether you're tolerating your man not spending money on you, whether you're tolerating being in a bare minimum relationship, so long as you are choosing to stay in this relationship, you are tolerating this behavior. And what does that mean? It means that that is what you deserve. So in another way, you're saying you don't deserve to be with a man who can really care and spoil you and look after you because you don't really feel you're worthy. So the first thing, and you see, it will even show up in very small, simple things. Like the other day I was speaking with one of my clients and she was telling me, oh, Linda, I was out with my hubby. I think they had gone grocery shopping or whatever. And he had parked very far and she had worn high heels. So what did she do? Instead of, you know, the way you're outside the mall and you're with the trolley, so he's picked up the bags and he's parked like across the street. Instead of her just relaxing and saying, oh wow, I'm not able to walk across to where the car is parked because I'm wearing high heels, what did she do? She actually walked across in her high heels, and it was a bit of a distance. Why? Because she could not just say that, babe, I'm wearing high heels and I'm not able to walk. It's such a huge distance. So for her, she chose to disregard herself. She chose to put her needs last. She chose not to speak up and express what she wanted. Why? Because she did not feel she deserved for her husband to drive all the way to pick her up from the parking lot. And you see, it comes in such small, little things. And you will hear women saying, oh, it's not such a big deal. I don't mind walking, or it's not such a big deal. I don't mind if he stays out till 6. But the thing is, you are accepting that behavior, not because it's what you truly love. It's because that is what you feel you deserve. Okay, so what does that then mean? The first things, and this is what really helped me to shift, because remember, I've been married for 10 years, this is my 11th, and I wasn't always this spoiled wife. I had to grow into who I am today. I used to look and I would see like, okay, all these babes who are talking about being spoiled, being pampered, their man coming home like early. I used to think these women were like lying. But then I realized, and with a lot of inner work, with a lot of guidance, I realized that, you know what, Linda, maybe I had set the bar a little bit low for myself, and that's because I'd never really taken my time to love myself, to actually know who I am, and to affirm myself. Ladies, you are not supposed to struggle in love. You are not supposed to accept bare minimum in a relationship. You're not supposed to perform in your relationship. And if you find yourself struggling, chances are it's because you've accepted that level of behavior based on what you feel you deserve, based on how you think about yourself. So how do you start to shift this? And I have a masterclass upcoming, how to be a spoiled and provided for wife. If you're interested in the link, please send me a DM with the word spoiled wife, and I will go deep into all this work in terms of how to really get the kind of love that you deserve in your relationship. So the first thing is, and you don't have to do like people say inner work. Yes, there is inner work, but inner work is really becoming aware. Okay, so the fact that, let's take for instance like this babe who had worn high heels and the husband has parked like across the parking, and then instead of her just expressing and saying, wow babe, oh my heels are too high and yeah, I'm gonna struggle walking all the way, and allowing him to actually bring the car closer to her, the first thing is to notice when you are like bending over backwards. Notice, and it doesn't have to be a huge thing, but if you just notice like, I don't really have to walk all the way, I can actually ask, and you become aware that if you are choosing to walk all across the road, it's you like doing something because you feel like it's not okay, it's not safe for you to express your needs. That is one of the easiest ways to start becoming aware. Then you make a different choice. So in this example, you become aware that, okay, I don't want to walk across. Then if I don't want to walk across, what can I do? Let me ask hubby. Let me ask my man. Let me tell him, babe, wow, it's such a long stretch in my high heels, I can't walk. Then from there, you have spoken up for yourself. You have trained him and you have shown him that you value yourself, you value your comfort, and that way you start to train him, and you'll notice it will not just be with men, it will be with everyone around you. You start to train them to treat you based on how you treat yourself. Being spoiled, being pampered, all comes down to you loving yourself, to you accepting yourself, to you saying yes to knowing that you are worthy of this kind of treatment. Being looked after, being given like queen treatment in a relationship, getting the communication you want, getting the quality time you want is not something that's just for 20-year-old women. It's not just something for women who are like model pretty. It's not just something for women who have probably long hair. It's something that's accessible to us, to anyone, any woman who is married, but it requires for you to start to shift how you see yourself, how you view yourself. Because if you allow yourself to dream and say, wow, and it can start with you just saying, okay, today I decide, you know what, I want to get my man to spend quality time with me, and I desire. Because anytime you look at any other woman being treated, being pampered, being looked after, and you say internally like, wow, that is beautiful, that is your inner self guiding you towards what you desire. That is your inner self guiding you towards what you desire. And once you allow that inner desire to guide you, it starts to open you up to receiving. Because I realized, it took me quite some time, and I realized that the number one person that's stopping us from getting the love we want starts with you. Your man is responding to you. Your man is responding to your energy. Your man is responding to your boundaries. He's responding to how you're showing up. So even if you keep having the same conversations with him, but he's like, this woman, she's never really valued herself. She's just talking, but deep down, she does not believe that she is worthy. Then what will happen? Nothing will ever change. Okay, so I am having a masterclass coming up. And if you're interested, let's talk about how to get back love without begging, without chasing, because many women are in relationships and I realize there's a lot of struggle love going on. There's a lot of struggle. There's a big difference between going through the different phases of relationship, because sometimes romance is a game, it's an art, and it ebbs and flows. But if you find yourself always struggling, always begging, always pleading, it comes down to you. It comes down to you, because remember, even as much as you want somebody to, your man to work on himself, there is the you aspect. There is a version of you that accepted this kind of bare minimum treatment. And until you decide, you know what, I'm ready to drop that struggle and I'm ready to upgrade myself, I'm ready to allow myself to want more, I'm ready to let go of negativity, I'm ready to stop, like anytime I see women winning in love, I'm there sitting and thinking, they're fake or they're lying. No. Once you allow yourself to expand, to want more, that is now how you start to shift your energy from chasing, being like a pick-me in your relationship, to putting your crown back on and changing your love story. Okay, so let me see if there are any questions coming up. Let me see. Wow, so many of you joined. Huh? I almost wasn't sure whether this was a good time. Let me see if there are any questions, any comments, anything coming up. So contentment is the best way to have peace in your relationship. I honestly don't think so. I will disagree with this. There is a way of saying contentment, but if you mean contentment from a place of being comfortable, yeah, so let's look at this woman who is in a relationship. The husband never stays home on Friday nights. She always has the same conversations. She can't even remember the last time she went on a romantic date with her man. You can decide to be content in such a relationship. But is that really what you want? Yeah, many people throw around the word contentment and they tell you, oh, just be happy, just be okay with what you have. But what they are telling you is settling. However, if you are getting your needs met in the relationship, then gratitude, being at peace, being at ease will naturally flow through you because you are actually getting your needs met. So for me, my comment there would be, are you content because you settled, or are you content because your needs are met? Okay, let me see if there are any other questions. We all have a limit with Mr. What that Mr. A is doing very much better doesn't mean Mr. B should also be doing the same thing. So it comes down to you. It always comes down to you. What do you want? What are your needs? What are your desires? Do you know yourself? And even as you want all these things, are you showing up as the kind of woman who is a match to receive whatever it is that you want? So it's not about comparison. It's not about comparison. So love is simple if we learn to appreciate each other with little effort. I also disagree, because when we say love is simple, yes, it's simple, it's a natural act. However, we should not take it for granted that we assume how love works. And usually sometimes we assume, many women assume that they knew how to do relationships. Like you enter in a marriage and then you say, okay, I know love. How do you know love? We all assume we are supposed to understand love. Yet one of the greatest things you will learn, and I'll talk about this in the masterclass, DM me, Spoiled Wife, if you're interested, is romantic love works very, very differently. I was even having a conversation with one client yesterday. Romantic, because she was telling me, Linda, oh, it's so easy for me in the office. I'm so much fun. I have so many friends, and it's so easy for me to, like, I'm such a wonderful person. People want to come next to me. But then in my relationship, in my marriage, like, my husband comes home at 7, and I wonder what's the difference. The thing is, romantic love operates very, very differently from how other relationships work. And that is why it's really an art to cultivate. It's an art for you to learn how to navigate it so that you understand the differences in terms of how love works, romantic love works. Of course, there are all kinds of love. Oh, thanks, Aching. Thank you. Okay. So let's see if there's any other question coming in. Your words are true, Linda. When I watch around me, the Japot women are those who have set their boundaries. They are all treated the happiest women are the ones who have set boundaries. Yes. And actually, this is where boundaries come in. Because when you feel you deserve a certain kind of treatment, like even if you're in a relationship, and I'll pick this one because this is one, and let's pick a very simple example, like in the evenings when you're sitting with your man and he's next to you, and then you find he takes, he's always on his phone. Yeah, because I've had this one a lot. Every time I do private consultations, I'm hearing, okay, we are sitting, but then he's distracted. His body is there, but he's not connecting with me. So you see, if you are a woman, and there is a reason probably, and I had to express, okay, so if you're feeling that way, then there's no emotional connection in the relationship. But if you loved yourself, you'd be able to express. There's a certain respect your man will give you. Even if he's sitting there, he still not be on his phone, and it's like you're just another piece of furniture there. And this is where it comes down to you knowing yourself, loving yourself, and knowing who you are as a woman, because that way your man will esteem you, but most importantly, you will esteem yourself. From that place, you'll be able to have a choice. You will not just keep quiet and accept that, okay, it's fine. So long as he's sitting next to me, then the relationship is fine. You'll be able to speak up and express. You'll be able to say whatever it is that's bothering you. Why? Because you value yourself. Okay. So let me block somebody here. Okay, so that's done. All right, so that's okay. So men go through what is happening. Let's see what we have. Different responsibilities. We have different children with different attitudes. So many things contribute to how you are being loved by your partner. Okay. So yeah, and that's where self-awareness comes in. Self-awareness as a person comes in, such that it's not a big bunch of guesswork where one partner is trying to figure out how to love the other, or the other is trying to figure out how to love the other, and then it becomes this mess. Self-awareness is important, such that you're able to express exactly what your needs are. Okay. You don't need to set boundaries if you're in a relationship. You need to be flexible. I have absolutely disagreed, because boundaries is really just a form of self-love. I think maybe what you're trying to say is how the boundary is set, because there are some people who yell and they think they are setting a boundary. So they are not able to communicate in a healthy, respectful way in terms of what their needs are. But I believe any person, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's at work, there is a certain limit. There is a way you carry yourself and you value yourself, and it teaches other people how to handle you. Okay. So let me know. Men go through a lot, but we hardly open up or complain. Okay, this is interesting because I've been getting quite a number of men emailing me, DMing me, and these are husbands, people's husbands. And it's very interesting because when I started creating this content, really it was me, a wife, speaking to fellow wives. Yeah, because of what I've been through and what I've seen and what I've learned along the way. And one of the things that so many men are telling me is they are not able to communicate with their wives. So what tends to happen, they shut down, and then that's how you find like you're speaking to a man, but it's like he's there, but he's technically checked out. So I'm not a relationship counselor for couples. I can only speak with women, and this is what I teach women in my group programs, how to navigate that phase of the relationship. When the relationship is disconnected, people close up. The woman is resentful, the man disconnects, and then there's no communication happening in there. And then what happens, it's so easy for now everyone to go their own separate ways. This is where people start cheating, overeating, drinking, doing all kinds of things. Why? Because the relationship has technically stopped becoming a safe container for both of them to come into. So if you feel this is where your relationship is, send me a DM, because the upcoming program will talk exactly about this and how to navigate the relationship, especially when like you're no longer even seeing eye to eye. All right, so let me see if there are any other questions. Any other questions? So yeah, is there a place for compromise without abandoning? How do you commit? So this is a huge question. This is a big question because there are so many issues I would need to find out. Like, what is the boundary? What is it you're trying to express? Because I feel if you're expressing your needs and wants, why should you have to compromise? I don't know what it is you want to express, but from the clients I've worked with, it really comes down to you knowing what you want and what your needs are, and being able to speak in a way that your man understands. You do not, I don't know what it is you're asking for you to say you need to compromise. Are you asking for a jet and maybe he can afford a bicycle? I don't know what it is. That's why it's really important to also know, like, and be clear what it is that you're looking for. And then even whatever it is that you want, can your man, is he the right person to give you what you want? Because ultimately, you should be able to express yourself, whatever your needs are, whatever your desires are. Because when your relationship is harmonious and healthy and playful, it's safe. Even if you say you want a jet, you should be able to express. Then you leave it up to your man to say, okay, and I'm using a jet for the lack of a better example. Then your man will be able to tell you, oh, babe, that's too much, or I can't, or wait, or no. So for me, I don't believe in compromise. It's really about you expressing and saying whatever it is that you want, and then leaving the door open for your man to respond to your request. Because the moment you come with the mindset of compromise, why are you compromising? What is it that you're compromising? Because we are assuming whatever it is that you want to express is a very important need. Okay. So love your content, insightful, and I've learned to love myself. Thank you, Milka. Let's see if there's anything. So yes, if you're interested in joining the upcoming class on how to be a provided for and spoiled wife, send me a DM, spoiled, and let's see if it would be a good fit for you to sign up for the program. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.